Never let anybody see you sweat. So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Ava Zimmerman claims she learned her fiancé was secretly engaged before, so she bailed during their romantic trip and got stuck with travel costs. Logan Miles says he doesn't owe the plaintiff anything because she overreacted and went home.
All right, Ms. Zimmerman, you are suing your former fiancé, Mr. Miles, for $1,634 because his dishonesty ruined your early moon. And what is an early moon?
So an early moon is something that my ex-fiance found on social media because he could not commit to doing a honeymoon because he had a deadline with work. So an early moon is a honeymoon before the wedding.
Okay, so there was a date set for the wedding already?
Yes.
All right, and by the date of the wedding, you would have known each other how long?
A year and a half, 6 months.
And as luck would have it, his work schedule around that date, you wanted to keep that date, but he couldn't do a honeymoon, so he proposed an early moon.
Correct.
All right. You had received a ring.
Correct.
Okay. And what was your early moon? What did it consist of? Like 3 days in Fort Lauderdale or
2 weeks in Greece.
Oh, 2 weeks in Greece. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, he wasn't kidding. All right. So tell me what happens when you're in Greece.
Yeah. So we're in Greece. It's great. We're having a great time. I decide to post on social media. I'm getting married. Yay. Here's my ring. And I get a DM from his ex-girlfriend.
Did you know her?
I did not.
And she says what?
She says, I actually have the DMs.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Thank you.
That was my engagement ring first, darling. Hate to break it to you, but you're just his sloppy seconds. Be careful with Logan. He'll leave you before the wedding. I guess he must have left her before the wedding. Better run when you can, babe. You were engaged? Logan never told me that. He never told... Oh, man, I wouldn't grace her with a response.
Yeah. I think I was more shocked.
Dignity. You were engaged? Logan never told me that. He never told me anything about his past relationships. Ask him if you don't believe me. Trust me, he's not everything he appears to be. All right, so what happens?
So I go and I approach him and I say, like, I woke him up. He was sleeping. I showed him the DMs. I said, why did I not know that you were previously engaged? He proceeds to tell me, oh, it was a minor detail. I didn't think you needed to know. And I'm like, a minor detail is I don't like tomatoes, not I was previously engaged to someone. And we had plenty of conversations.
Had they had a wedding date and everything?
I don't know.
Did you have a wedding date with this other person and everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
Had the invitations gone out?
Yes, we had sent out
So
some
it was
invitations.
humiliating for her.
Yeah,
I mean, that didn't take,
for probably
that
both
barely
of
needed
us.
saying, I'm sure. Okay, so can I ask you a question? Why didn't you, if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone, how would this topic not come up?
Well, I didn't think it was, important to bring in past relationships, and I also.
Of course it is.
You
had talked about past relationships with her. You just hadn't told her that little fact about being engaged. Why didn't you?
I just didn't want a big emotional response from her.
The ring you gave her, it's the same ring you gave the other person?
It is. It's a family heirloom. My mother gave it to me, and her mother gave it to her.
That's why. That's why.
And
Because
I
he
knew
wanted to. He wanted to be able to use the ring, and was worried you'd say, "I'm not taking a ring that was on some other woman's finger." That's probably why. All right, so you find out and you confront him, and he says, what actual excuse did he give you for not telling you he had been engaged?
He didn't think it was important.
Okay, so you think it's important. And then what about the ring itself and the fact that it's a family heirloom, did that soften the blow? It's not that he's cheap and wanted to recycle a used ring. It's that it's a family heirloom.
I knew it was a family heirloom. I got that story the night we got engaged. So I was totally fine
So you know
with that.
that's truthful. He's not making that up. All right.
Correct.
I think he was afraid to tell you because then he couldn't use the ring, which he wanted to use.
Potentially. I mean, when I confronted him, we were about 5 days into Greece, and I said I was leaving. And instead of I'm coming with you to figure this out, it was I'm going to stay and spend the rest of the 2 weeks here.
Because I've already paid for them.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
What happened out there? You tell me your version.
She comes and wakes me up and says, "You lied to me," and calls me a liar. And all of a sudden, I see these direct messages from my crazy ex.
And later,
Like everybody was told to be there at 7. But what happened?
My phone died when we were out. We had a tea time.
Dog
with
ate
Moon.
my homework, checks in the mail.
No.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Ava Zimmerman, who brought Logan Miles to court for travel expenses.
What happened out there? You tell me your version.
Well, we were on the early moon in Greece, and it was really Greece was beautiful. And we were having a great time, a lot of great nights, just taking in the scenery. And a few days into it, I'm taking a nap in the afternoon, and she comes and wakes me up and like shoves the phone in my face and says, "You lied to me," and calls me a liar. And all of a sudden, I see these direct messages from my crazy ex explaining, the situation about the ring that she posted on social media, the engagement ring. Then she's like, freaks out, and I'm
Did
like,
you think it was? Why did you not tell her that you were engaged?
I really just didn't want her to have, a big reaction about the whole thing.
So you wanted to spare yourself her anger? Were you afraid you'd lose her if you told her? I don't understand you. I'm trying to understand why you wouldn't tell her.
I just didn't
Was
think.
my theory about the reuse of the ring that had been on someone else's finger who you were supposed to marry, is that why you didn't tell her?
Well, in all honesty, Your Honor, I would give that ring to any woman I was going to marry.
Right, so why not just be forthright and tell her I had given it to another woman first?
I just didn't think it was important to
So
bring.
you actually didn't think it was important?
No, because, it was in the past. It was a relationship in the past. This was
So
something
in your
special.
mind, it was not important?
In my mind, it wasn't important. This was a new special relationship. I really loved Ava, and I didn't want anything from the past coming in.
So let me ask you a question. When Ava loses it and says, I'm going back to America, why don't you go back with her and fight for her? Why do you stay in Greece for another week and a half?
Well, I did. I did talk with her. I said, why don't we just try to work it out? And I paid for the whole thing, so I was going to enjoy my time in Greece.
You paid for half of it.
Well, that's what I mean. I paid for the early moon, and Greece is beautiful, so I was going to stay and enjoy it.
How beautiful is Greece? Is going to still be beautiful a few weeks from now. Like Greece is, like if everything has been ruined, your chance to marry the woman of your dreams, you keep calling her, she's flying back to America. Like why would you say, we'll work it out in a few weeks. Let me sunbathe and enjoy the Grecian Isles and enjoy myself. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. Greece was very pleasant,
There you have it. All right.
but I did miss her.
I have text messages of me asking him these questions while I'm at the airport.
Yeah, I asked you to stay and
Just
work
a
it
second. Just a second. Give me a break, Ava. You're just mad because I gave you a ring that I gave to my ex first. That is why you didn't tell her. It was a family heirloom. I was going to give it to whomever I married. It wasn't even about the ring. If you told me about it before we got engaged, I would have been more understanding. Now you just lied to me. I expect you to pay me back. I'm not a liar, Ava, and I'm not paying you anything. Oh, wow, that didn't go so well. This is while you're still in Greece?
I've already decided to leave him at the airport.
Logan, how could you do this to me? You lied to me about your past, and I can never trust you again the same. You owe me $16.34 for my half of the early moon. I had an awful time, and I had to leave early because you lied to me. Ava, you could have stayed. We could have worked it out. I don't owe you anything. I paid my half, and I stayed. I'm sorry you think I lied to you, but I didn't lie. My past relationships are not relevant to us. You feel that he owes you $1,634. Why? Because you decided to go back and cut your early moon short, and you decided you weren't going to marry him, and now you wish you hadn't gone?
It's not even punishment for the whole thing, because I understand how that could be. You decided to stay. You made that decision to stay and enjoy the rest of the hotel room.
But you made that decision to leave. In other words, why does he have a legal obligation to you because you made the decision to leave?
I think it's the principle of the whole thing. Like, he decided to keep this information from me. I'm now humiliated from receiving a DM from his ex-girlfriend. Who else? I'm assuming if invitations went out, everyone knew about this. So I'm the only one, the one that apparently he loves so much. And now I'm completely embarrassed and humiliated with the whole thing. Yes, I left because the other option was to stay and like fight it out in Greece when what am I trusting anymore?
I just asked you to stay and work it out.
Okay, well, she didn't want to, and it sounds like she did the right thing because apparently there's no love loss, and both of you have moved on to your next lives, where you'll meet somebody and then 6, 7 months decide that they're the right person for you, and then decide to marry them, and then have one little thing come between you and the rest of your life. I knew when I met my husband, that was a guy I didn't know it would be 33 years. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But I knew that he was it. And then I said, you know what? I don't care that I'm, 30 and I know he's it. I got to date him for a while, make sure he's it. And then you kind of figure it out. But I guess what I'm surprised about is if you've made a decision to spend the rest of your life with him, that this one thing would change that. I guess that's what I'm amazed at. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's your decision. And if this was really important to you and you felt like it was a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker, and that's that. That's how the heart works. So the only question is, does he owe you money because you guys broke up on a trip and you decided that you were going to go home? And the answer to that is no. That doesn't create a legal obligation on his part. You're the one who decided that you wanted to go, and that may have been the best decision for you. But that doesn't create a legal obligation on his part to pay you back for the decision that you made that was best for you. Sometimes the decisions we make that are best for us cost us, not someone else. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Any last remarks for each other?
Yep. Good luck to you. I'm gonna give that ring to a woman who really deserves it.
Let her know how many people had it before.
Coming up,
What time did you first notice how late it was?
It was when we were at the bar. We were having a few drinks. He was reminiscing with an old friend, old college buddy.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Dylan Locke claims he paid additional charges for his husband's birthday party because his now former friend didn't deliver him to the venue on time. Craig Baker says they were late because he simply lost track of the time.
Okay, Mr. Locke, you are suing your, I guess, former friend, Mr. Baker, for $975 because, according to you, he caused overtime fees for a surprise party that you had been planning. Tell me what happened.
That is correct, Your Honor. I was throwing a fabulous party for my husband, John. It was his 60th birthday. It was to be a surprise birthday party. Unfortunately, Mr. Craig was unable to deliver my husband on time.
So the deal was that Craig and John were going to leave at what time, and Craig was going to have him out how long?
They left roughly noon that
Okay.
day. They were going to get out of my hair, what's left of it, play some golf, do a couple rounds, bring him back later that evening, no earlier.
No earlier than 7 o'clock. Well, yeah, that would be
Correct.
something if you showed up while you were, hanging
No,
up
I even
streaming.
have it right here on the invite
All
for
right,
him.
so
you know.
everybody else was supposed to be there at 7, and he was supposed to be there at what time? Did you tell him bring him by at 7:30 or at 8 or at 8:30? Did you say?
No.
Okay.
I said just no earlier,
No earlier than 7. And
Correct,
what time
Your
did you bring him?
I would say probably about 8:45-ish. A little bit.
Okay, but you got the invitation, right? So you know the party started, like everybody was told to be there at 7. Well, what happened?
My phone died when we were out. We had a tea time.
Dog
at
ate
noon.
my homework, checks in the mail.
No, it wasn't like that.
Coming up,
Because that was your job to be on top of the time, to get John over there. So you're saying if I didn't do what I was supposed to do, he should have called and made somebody make me do what I was supposed to do.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with a dispute between Dylan Locke and Craig Baker over a birthday party gone bad.
So let me see if I have this. Okay, so your phone dies and your eyeballs don't see the time anywhere else.
My eyeballs did see the time. That's why we ended up leaving and getting to
What
his house.
time did you first notice how late it was?
It was when we were at the bar. We were having a few drinks. He was reminiscing with an old friend, old college buddy.
John had an old friend
was.
there?
Yes.
That he ran into?
Ran into.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. And then I just happened to look at the sports score. I saw it was
What?
7:30.
Okay.
So we bailed out. We caught a cab and headed out.
He comes at what time did he come? 8:45 is right?
If he says so, I thought it was closer to 9 or 9:15, but
Jeez.
sure.
And were the people saying, "Where's John? Where's John? Where's John?" Were people asking?
Absolutely.
And
I
then
was
you're
spinning
texting
so
him.
many plates.
And does John have a cell phone?
No, Your Honor, I took his cell phone away from him because I didn't want him to be surprised. I didn't want him to look on social media, see us
'cause
setting up
other
the party.
people, right.
I didn't want him
Oh, you were
getting-
posting on social media.
No. I
But-
kept it extremely quiet.
So,
I
but
was-
somehow you took his phone, and what reason did you give him for taking his phone?
I said it needed to be updated.
That's it? And he leaves the phone off? Not a tech guy, John, is he? All right, so
He's older.
Okay, he's come to court. He says you should pay him $975, and your answer is?
Of course not. He sued me for 3 hours, and we're late an hour and 45 minutes. I gave him a loosely what we'd be doing, wherever we want to be. If he was that concerned, he would have been able to call the bar and got
Call
a
the
hold of
bar
us.
and say what? You can't do that anymore. What's the bartender going to do? Hello? Is there a John here? Because there's a surprise party on hold. What's he going to do?
Now, I've been there a few times. They know who I am.
And he knew you were at that bar?
He did.
Okay, and
gave
so
him a loose
someone should have
agenda.
woken you up, is what you're saying.
Not woken me
Well,
up.
no, that is it, because that was your job to be on top of the time, to get John over there. So you're saying if I didn't do what I was supposed to do, he should have called and made somebody make me do what I was supposed to do.
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns.
I'm not going to make him pay for the extra hours. I think I berated him sufficiently on national television, okay? Because Craig, you kind of, I mean, come on, man. Be better, right? But, he was doing something out of the love in his heart for you and John. I am kind of surprised you're suing him over $975 if you guys are all such close friends. I got to tell you, that did shock me. But in any event, although I do think that he kind of blew his job, he did not have a legal obligation to you to bring him at a certain time. And I am not finding in your favor in this case.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Don't ask for any more favors.
No, I won't.
Okay. Exit this way, please. Make sure you grab all of your belongings.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.